All right, so let's continue this thing here. We talked a little bit about about crypto being part of the portfolio. We're going to pick that up and we're going to blow it out. I would like to start with the macro and then go into the micro.
Right.
Okay, so let's take a look at crypto on a global basis. Now, from what I just heard, is that the Monetary Authority of Singapore, right, has lots of applications, and there is a buzz. This is going to happen. It's going to happen on a global situation, and it's happening with for those of you that know Alibaba, which is basically China's Google, China's Amazon, that type of thing, stuff like that. So these guys are now getting involved in it. How do you think this global perspective is now going to affect the U.S. economy as far as crypto?
Yeah, I mean, the Asian hub is obviously wanting to accept a lot of different types of currencies. And I think in Europe and in Asia, they're used to having different currencies, unlike us here in the U.S. So this isn't, it's not that foreign. So I think what's happening there is that there's going to be a lot of commerce businesses that are going to be moving in there because there's a lot of tax benefits, which is why Google wants to be able to receive cryptocurrency there. So there's going to be people that are buying products from there. There's going to be people that are opening businesses and they want to be able to receive ad revenue in crypto, which gives them a lot of flexibility. And the more sources of income that they can charge and people have access to, the better. I think that, other countries are trying to catch up to what we're doing here in the U.S. because a lot of the reasoning behind wanting to accept some of crypto in some places is that there's so many millionaires and billionaires that have it, and so having accessibility for a millionaire or billionaire to pay in a crypto makes a lot of sense because these people are thinking to themselves, okay, I'm gonna have to pay taxes, might as well open a business, might as well use some of my crypto, even if I lose a little bit of money on this business, I can take a chance, start a business, and if it works, then great. If it doesn't work, it doesn't really matter either because I was going to give that money to the government anyway in taxes.
Exactly.
So that's why they want to accept. They want to be able to accept different cryptocurrencies.
Okay, globally.
Globally.
Now, what is the resistance? I mean, it seems like the mindset here in America is behind, in a sense, of the acceptance of it. What do you think is the resistance? What do we have to lose as either the government or our economy? What do we have to lose by not catching up to the rest of the world's acceptance?
Well, it really comes down to the IRS is, in my opinion, the IRS is backed up and they don't have enough resources to audit, right? And so if millions or billions of dollars are funneled to corporations that are never taxed, the government hurts from that because they're supposed to pay taxes on these gains, right? All these gains could be hidden in all of these LLCs and businesses. So I think the reason they're trying to slow it down is they want to be able to make sure that they get their share, and so that's why they're trying to slow it down. They're trying to do that here in the U.S. too. They want to make sure that they can audit, make sure that it's legitimate, and also other countries have the similar mindset as well. They want to keep a lot of the money in their own country.
I see.
Whereas if people are able to, the problem as a government is that you're able to move this money so easily in so many different places. So let's say a guy is living in Texas and he's got $500 million in Bitcoin. He may think, I'm gonna open a business in Singapore, funnel that Bitcoin in there. Maybe I don't ever have to pay any taxes on that money, and I can save a huge windfall. And then maybe eventually, once Singapore catches up down the road, I'll already have made so much money by not paying taxes. Right. So that's a big part of it. In my opinion, that's the reason.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you think, as a small appendage to that same question, do you think that once the IRS or the government catches up to the crypto situation, that they're going to find a way to get you?
Absolutely, and they already are. They mailed out last year. They were mailing out letters to, I think they said 20 to 30,000 people that they got information from some of the big platforms, Coinbase and this and that, because they're tied in.
Yeah.
So they sent letters out saying, hey, you never reported these gains from the year before.
Wow.
Why didn't you?
Wow.
So that's why, part of the reason, all of this is one of the many reasons why I started my digital money.
Okay.
Because really, if these people owned all this crypto in their IRA, they wouldn't have to pay any taxes, right? It's all tax deferred.
I see.
So that's why, and it's funny because as much as I tell people to do it, this is the way to do it, they just don't get it until it's too late.
Until it's too late.
Right? Until they have 50 million in Bitcoin, and then they go, what am I going to do? Whereas if they had that 50 million in their IRA,
right,
they could sell it, keep the money in the IRA, and then they're going to pay taxes later. Right. If they were in a Roth IRA, they would never pay taxes.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
So they could take it out at retirement, and they would take it all.
I'm having a flashback right now to you being that young kid saying, I got to get people onto the set, but I have the instructions that are being currently used are not allowing them to get there.
Yeah.
So you're kind of getting right in front and saying, I have to take a look at these landmarks here and help people get into what to do with their money.
It's like they just don't, because I think a lot of times what happens is that they don't believe that the money is going to be there until it's there, and then once the money's there, once they've taken this risk and they've hit it, now they got a tax problem.
Yeah.
And really that's what's happening globally. That's why people are, these companies are applying for licenses in different places. Now there's more reasons than that. The other reason that all of these companies, Facebook and all of these companies want to build their own currencies, their own digital currencies, is what the Starbucks company did, Howard Schultz.
Oh.
That set the marker for businesses, because when Howard Schultz got fired and then they brought him back, the first thing he brought back with him was this idea of the rewards program. Mm-hmm. When you go to Starbucks now, they have this rewards, right? Yeah. And everybody loads money onto their Starbucks card.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of that money never leaves. People leave it there, they forget it, it stays there. Mm-hmm. Starbucks has become a bank. So that idea, that brilliant idea that has kept them so strong.
Whoa, wait a minute. You're saying if I have a card, I can go to Starbucks and be like, I got $10 on this card,
right,
whatever the case is, and people are not necessarily utilizing that card.
They're not spending all the money there. The money's sitting there. There's all these, there's millions of people that have 5 cents left on that card, or 10 cents, or $1, or every month they preload their card.
Yeah.
So basically, Starbucks gets all their money not all of their money, but they get a lot of their money in advance, and then they have this huge hoard of money that they can go out and make money on. So these companies, Facebook and all these companies, are doing the same idea. Is that if they create a cryptocurrency, and let's say you go on to Facebook and they give it to you for free. Okay. Once you're in their ecosystem, they're going to control that money. Right, and then eventually they're going to find a way to monetize, and they're going to keep that money within their ecosystem, which it allows them to expand into other things. That's the rewards Starbucks model that now companies are realizing, if we can do this with money, then we can really monetize.
Which is the same thing countries are doing.
Which is the same thing countries are doing.
Okay, good. Now speaking of countries, let's talk about El Salvador. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I believe the El Salvador president, his name is Nayib Bukele. I think that's it, right? And he's doing something right now with crypto. He's beginning to recognize it as a legal tender, and it's going to affect their country. What do you know, or what do you think? How do you think that's going to affect places like El Salvador, or maybe like Zaire, or wherever else in the world? What do you think is going to happen in a situation like that?
Obviously he's a tyrant dictator that is someone that you have to be careful. You can't. He can't be completely trusted.
Okay. All right.
But
these are his words. I'm just staying out of it. After me. Whatever. But there it is.
But that being said, I think the idea of a country accepting a cryptocurrency is much better for the average person if it's done ethically.
Okay.
Because.
That's a big if, huh?
Well, I don't know. We haven't seen it.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what his true intentions are.
Right.
I think, listen, they're not a big, their economy is, in the top 30, I think, in the world. 100. Oh, they're 101. Okay, so they're even smaller. So it's a much smaller economy. They're, a lot of the people in that country don't even have a bank account.
Right.
So I think that 70% of people don't even have a bank account. So like, can people there shift to the idea of having cryptocurrency as opposed to another currency? Absolutely.
Yeah.
They obviously don't trust the banks.
Right.
That's why they don't have a bank account.
Exactly.
So it's probably easier for them to make this transition, because if they end up putting Bitcoin on their phone on some app that's acceptable, that might be the first time they've actually done anything like this. So there's no change in learning there. This is their first application there. Obviously, I've said many times the problem with cryptocurrencies is the volatility, right? So if someone got paid in Bitcoin, let's say they got paid in Bitcoin right now and Bitcoin's been dropping, the value of what you've received has lost value. So there is inherent risk because of the extreme volatility to make it a day-to-day currency right now. That being said, as mining shifts from China to other places, as this economy within crypto shifts, them accepting it as a currency may open up the companies to moving there, opening up businesses, and creating commerce, which could be the reason that he's willing to accept this. Typically, a dictator does not want to accept cryptocurrency because if they have their own currency, they can artificially manipulate it, which has happened in Zimbabwe, which has happened in a lot of countries, because they control it. By accepting Bitcoin, that president is not in control. Nobody's in control of that. It's independently.
So it almost seems not counterintuitive, but not necessarily in a dictator's best interest to have cryptocurrency. So what is it then?
That's the thing. That's the baffling thing. I don't know. But maybe the intentions are good. Maybe he believes he wants to be ahead of it. To grow the economy there and to allow commerce and corporations to potentially move there. So we don't know.
We don't know.